Alright, so today we're going to be working on a lawn tractor. Had it for a couple years, and it's starting to show its age a bit, but it's not too bad. It's a Cup Cadet. So I'm going to be replacing some tires. As you can see, it's no bueno. These are original tires when we bought it about 6 years ago. They're pretty dry rotted. As you can see, mud and stuff's been getting in there and all sorts of stuff. And this one is a little better, but I'm still going to replace it as well. So I got new tires, some new valve stems, so we're going to replace that. Hopefully I can do this with just regular tools or your hand tools, so anybody can do it. So alright, so the first thing I do is I gotta pop these little caps off. So I'm just using a little pry bar. They're just plastic, little press fit. Just give them a little, and see, it's pretty gnarly in there. So I gotta get this cotter pin out, and I should have some spare cotter pins hopefully. But let me get it up in the air a little bit. There's not really a good place to jack up a lawn tractor because you're supposed to use a lift, but the lift lifts by the wheels, so it's kind of pointless for our purposes. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. So normally you'd want to put a jack stand or something underneath it if you're going underneath a car, but it's a freaking tractor, so I'm not going to go underneath of it. So let's go bend this back. Maybe. Try to get it. Ow, that's my finger. There we go. All right. So you never want to reuse cotter pins. Always get replacement ones. So this little lock and tab, I guess that's what it is. And pull the wheel right off. Look at that. And there's a grease fitting. I didn't know there was a grease fitting on the back. I guess I should have read the owner's manual so I could grease that. The rest of it looks not too bad. Okay. So the next thing I gotta do is I gotta try to get this bead. I mean, you can see all the dry rot. I mean, it's pretty dry rotted. The rear wheels are probably just as bad, but I didn't buy new ones because I don't want to go with those tires. They're like these. They're crap. They have no grip, and my yard gets kind of muddy. So we're not going to stay with those. I'm gonna get some ag type tires that have the big chevron grooves in them, and use those. So, let's see if I can just redneck it a little bit. There we go. Look at that. All right. So now you just gotta get this end over top here. I've got a pickle fork too. I'm using a pickle fork because they're thin, and I can just kind of jimmy it in here. Hopefully. And normally they make tire spoons to do this, but I didn't think to buy one. So you just kind of work your way around until you get enough of it over top, and then boom. Just pops out. So now we gotta do the same thing on the bottom, but I might be able to get it mostly by hand. Actually, I'm gonna go this way. Alright, that's garbage. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get that old valve stem out. And I got replacements, so I'm just gonna try to cut it. There we go. Look at that. Alright. So now, I'm going to clean this up a bit. A lot of mud and garbage in there. Got some rags. Hopefully the other one won't be as bad, because that one didn't fully come off the rim. Get a brush for that. Alright, I stole my wife's little rolly seat for working in her little area. So, just trying to get, I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, it's a freaking lawn tractor. But you want to try to get, while you're in here, you want to try to get as much of this crap off as you can. This technique is like exactly the same as if you were going to be changing a car tire, but obviously it's bigger. So I would suggest a tire machine or even a manual one. Harbor Freight sells one. I've got one. I just haven't installed it yet to replace tires. But these are small enough and it's not a huge deal. There's a lot of stuff caked on this. You can tell it's been going flat for a while. And now I paid, you can get tubes for garden tractors, lawn tractors, whatever you want to call them. I was thinking about that, but I was thinking with as dry rotted as mine are. So the problem with tubes is that if they do pop, you have to demount the tire. Oh yeah, that's good. To fix them. So I thought, with as crap as our tires were, oh yeah, that's better. That it was better just to replace them than it was to just tube them. And yeah, it's, you know, it costs more to get new tires, obviously. I paid $40-something a tire, which, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy that lawn tractor tires are $40-something, $45, $48 a tire, when some of the tires for some of the smaller tires for cars, like Beetles and things like that, you can get for like 50, 60 bucks. I think that's ridiculous, you know. But I guess there's a higher demand for lawn tractor tires, but not that people think about changing their lawn tractor tires on a regular freaking basis. So alright, I'm gonna get this a little cleaner and then I'm gonna hit it with some primer. Let it dry while I pull the other tire off. Try to get this loose. Paint. You can see, I don't know how well you can see that, but all the paint's cracking. I mean, these aren't exactly made to a really high standard. Again, nobody really, I don't think anybody really truly pays attention to their lawn tractor tires. So why do they need to make a high quality? And everything's plastic and everything now anyway. So everything's going cheaper. So it's easier for them just to do a quick stupid paint on the tires. Give a little bit of carb cleaner. I don't have a lot. Give it a little spray down. Give it a little wipe. Wipey. Trying to clean off that Zerk fitting. So I'll make sure I grease these bushings after I put it back on. Alright, let me get my Alright, so this is just a filler primer. It's just a primer. Doesn't need to be anything spectacular. It's literally just and I'm just coating this because it'll help prevent rust if water were to get inside. Because all the paint's been rubbed off from it being flat. So the sections that are already painted, I'm just kind of giving them a light coat. And again, this isn't anything perfect because it's a friggin' long tractor. Give a little bit more to where the metal was exposed. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pull the other tire real quick. Alright, now this one should be cleaner, hopefully, because it didn't come completely off the rim. But since this one didn't come off the rim, might need a little more persuasion. Oh, that one's just as dirty inside. It is. Thought it wouldn't be, but it is. There we go. Oh man, this one might even be worse. All right, cool. It's not what I wanted, but it is what it is, I guess. one has less water in it, but at some point in time it didn't, because it is rusty, bad rusty. So again, you're supposed to use tire spoons, but I don't have any tire spoons. So I'm just gonna brute force it. She's coming. She is coming. Oh, trying to stab yourself. There she goes. Boom. There's that side. Oh yeah. This one started coming apart. I think the tire actually started coming apart. Definitely bought a new one. And to get tubes in, gotta take the tire off anyway. So I was more worried about the tire actually coming apart. Honestly, I didn't really need to worry about that. But this one's being temperamental. Come on. The frame came out much easier. There we go. Well, yeah, it started to come apart on the inside. I forgot I bought a new one. Alright. So we're going to do the same thing here. First thing we're going to do, knock off the valve stem. You can get valve stem remover tools. I had one when I was a mechanic. I don't have it anymore. And they make valve stem install tools as well. So this one I'm just cutting. It's not coming out as easy. Probably should have started this tire, but oh well. Alright, that's out. Get some of this. You can do this with a wire wheel on your drill or with a brush like I was doing, which I'm going to be doing here to get the fine stuff out. I'm just using this to kind of scrape off the big loose stuff. You can see all the paint coming off with it. All this water and gunk eats the paint up. So it just disappears. That's also why I'm priming the wheels. All right. Pay close attention to your bead here, because this is what the tire actually sits on. That creates the seal. So you want to make sure that that is in decent shape. If you see any major gouging, pitting, anything like that on the bead, you're probably gonna, I mean, you can get away with a tube, but probably be a good idea to replace it. So a tubeless tire needs those beads to seal for it to hold air. A tube tire uses the tube to hold the air, obviously, the tube. So that seal isn't as important. And it's more important to keep water and stuff out. So to keep rust from happening on your rim like this one's actually rusted pretty good. The other one was just dirty. So you can use a tube in a tubeless tire, but you cannot go without a tube in a tubed tire because they're built differently. So a tube tire won't seal if you don't run a tube in it. So it'll just constantly leak. Usually it comes down to the rim, actually, more than the tire itself. Because most tube wheels don't seal on their own. They're like Bud style or bead lock, or now not all bead locks are tubed, but they don't have a way to seal. So the tube keeps the air in. And when I go to redo the tires on the Deuce and a Half, I'll show you, because the tires that are on it right now, just the ones from the 60s, there are tube tires. So they're combat rims. They're two-piece split rims that won't seal without a tube. But the new ones I have are 3-piece combat rims, which will seal, and they just operate differently. It's kind of hard to explain, and not really what we're doing today, but we'll get to that. So the new ones that I got for it are tubeless. But the originals have a tube. I'm out of clean, but I brought, damn it, I brought a thing of carb cleaner as a backup because I knew that can was close to being empty. And for this, they'll serve the same purpose. So you don't want to use brake clean to clean a carb, but you use carb cleaner to clean other stuff within reason. Pretty much the biggest difference between carb cleaner and brake clean is while brake clean doesn't leave a residue, it can. Like, it's not really guaranteed that it won't leave a residue, but it leaves, if it does leave a residue, it's so little that it won't affect your brake parts. And that's why, like, when you use brake clean to clean your brake parts, you should also wipe them down after you spray them down with brake clean. But carb cleaner does not leave anything behind. It evaporates all the way so that you don't get nothing goes into your carb that isn't supposed to. Nothing sticks to it and all that, so it's a lot better. So this isn't that great, but I don't have everything I want to fully recondition these. Let me clean that Zerk fitting real quick. Alright, so anybody who has these Cub Cadet XT1 Enduro tractors, like 2015s and up, in case you didn't know, you're not reading your manual, when you do your preventive maintenance, there is, here on the inside, there is a Zerk fitting to grease the axle. To grease that there, goes in there and gets all greasy and nice. So I didn't know that. I didn't know there was grease on the inside. I actually didn't even know how these wheels were. They're just bushings. They're not bearings or anything. They're straight up bushings. I'll clean this up a little bit. Crap got in there. Alright. Let's give her a little coat. Oh, I just painted my finger. And I just painted my ham. That's fine. That'll work. Let that one dry. That was a little more than I wanted. Clean out this. That little clean. Alright, that one looks good enough. Throw a tire on it. Alright, so getting the tires on is a little bit more intense. A little more work involved. Up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a tire valve. And a little tire valve. Again, I make tools for this. I don't have. Ow, you. This isn't the wrong size valve. Yep, I got it. Just had to work it in. There we go. New tube. Or new, not tube. Valve. Alright, so the easiest way to do this is to lube the living garbage out of these things to make it slide. Now they make special soap for this, but again, I don't have any. So I'm gonna use Dawn or a dishwashing detergent of your choice. Doesn't have to be Dawn, but Dawn's pretty cheap. So rub this Dawn all on the edge here. Make sure it gets on the bead. So make sure it gets in here. So nice and slippery. Do the same thing to the other side. We want it nice and slippery. Alright. So then we're gonna hope this would go in easy. But ow! I don't really want to. I know I'm scraping off the paint I just put on there, but at this point, I don't really care. tire spoon, make this a lot easier. Oh, there she is. There she is. All right. Might be able to just do this. I think I put too much Dawn on. That's what my issue is right now.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
There's my ringtone. Come on. Ow! Yeah, never put too much Dawn on it. There we go. Come on. You're almost there. Boom. Done. Number one done. All right. So you just gotta kind of work it a little bit. You can, there's, oh, I broke the top of the Dawn. All right. So there's the first one all done. Sure. My feet stay clean. Alright, there's that one. Alright. Alright. Ready for number two. I still use as much Dawn as I used before just because I can. It's freaking Dawn. Use a little bit less. All right. Now with a car tire, is actually somewhat easier because you have the wheel clamped. Go. Ta-da. So the wheel doesn't move around on you, and I think that's my biggest problem. That the wheel's sliding everywhere. Don't go back. You can buy these pre-mounted. And right now, to be 100% honest, I'm regretting not doing it. Come on, you're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Oh yeah, come on. Boom. All right. Y'all might remember you're putting this in. So we'll see how well it does. Oh, I forgot to put the frickin' valve stem in. That could have been a problem. There we go. Problem diverted. Alright, so hopefully these will seat pretty quickly. Oh. don't have. I was looking for a valve core tool. I don't have one, so. Oh, there we go. Boom. That one's seated. Give it a minute, get my air pressure up. Alright, let's see if we can get this one seated. think we're gonna have to use Miss Piggy. Let it air all the way up, give it one more try. If not, we're gonna use big lady over there to get some air, some good air. Let's go ahead and start her up. Just in case, because you never know. She needs to run anyway. Alright, so I still have the brake issue, as you can see from the pedal, but I got the new steering wheel on, so that's good. So it's gonna get loud here for a second. So that's my big mobile air compressor I have right now. So I might need her, might not. Find out. Let this air all the way up. Let's see what happens. Alright. So I didn't have to use the big girl. I'm gonna let her stay running and preheat up the fluids and circulate. I got him a seat. Got them inflated to about 30 psi for now, just to kind of make sure that they seat completely till that till the dawn kind of evaporates away, so they won't come out. It says max psi is 14 psi, but with as much dawn as I used, I went a little higher so that they wouldn't, you know, wouldn't come off their seat. So I don't want them to see, you know, to come off. You know, after about a week or so, I'll do them again. I'll readjust them to the proper psi. Okay. So what I decided to do, instead of grease fitting, I've got this grease here, and I'm gonna grease the hubs while I'm here. Since can't see what I'm doing there with that brake there. So I don't use a lot of gloves just because they tear and all sorts of stuff, but when you're dealing with greasing, it's always nice to have a pair of gloves on so you can take them off and throw them away instead of trying to scrub the grease off your hands. Makes it easier. Some of this grease off. There we go. They don't have to be perfect because, again, it's a bushing. you're not dealing with a bearing. So this is just red multi-purpose grease. It's nothing spectacular. Just kind of slather it on here. You don't want to put like a ridiculous amount on, because this doesn't have a seal or anything. So you're gonna get dirt and stuff all in here. Do the other side real quick. This is why I wear gloves when I use grease, because I can just, boop, no grease. Done. Alright, so we got some new cotter pins. And I just gotta slip this on. I need to go up a little bit. There we go. Get the grease into the bearing, into the bushings, instead of just the bushings pushing it out. Pretty good there. And just take our lock washer. This little dollop of grease off, and then push it through, and then bend the cotter pin. There we go. And then we just put our little, I lost one. Some other little cap. Oh no, it's on the other side, so just clean this out real quick. You don't really have to, it's just a alright. We just boop, pop it on. And there is brand new tire. So we'll do the other one real quick. least it's all up in there. All right. Boom. Done. As you can see, most of these garden tractors, front suspension is just a pivot. There's no real suspension to it. Steering simple. They're very simple machines. And then just lower it down. Boom. There's some fresh tires for my Cub Cadet. I believe it's a 15 or a 16 XT1 Enduro Series 42-inch deck. So I'm gonna get, so you can see these rear tires are kind of crap. So I'm gonna get new rear tires for it as well. These are dry rotted too, but they haven't started falling apart. I'm gonna order these. I got these tires at Truck Supply Company. They were about $45 each. I know I overpaid for them, but I needed them, so I got them. So hopefully these will do good and these will do better. I'm gonna order the tractor type tires, like agricultural type tires. The rear probably from Amazon. They probably should be cheaper, and I'll get those on there, and it'll give us a lot better traction, because those are just horrible. There's way too much mud and standing water and all that in my yard to use those Turf Saver tires, because I don't care about, if they tear them up, they tear them up. I don't care. It's grass, it'll grow back. And I'll probably order a tune-up kit with all the oil filters and everything for this to do when I do the tires. So that's about it for today. So hopefully this helps out a little bit for anybody who wants to change their tires. Yeah, it's kind of a pain, but as you can see, I did it with relatively regular hand tools. You just need some stuff for leverage and something to make the tire all slippery, and wire brush, clean your wheel of rust, some paint, just some primers, fine. Obviously new tires, new valve stems, and if you don't have any, some grease your tractor, and some type of cleaner, brake clean. I would suggest brake clean more than anything else, but you know, I only had that one can and it was only a little bit in it, so I did what I did. So thank you, appreciate it. If you like this, like and subscribe for more, for my random fixer-upper, buildy, install-y stuff videos. So appreciate you watching today. Thank you.